everyone, and welcome back to a cover-to-cover walkthrough of the new 2026 Sprouted planners. Today we are talking about the new hourly planners, as you can see here. So this is a whole saga. Hourly planners have been here, they haven't been here, they've changed, they continue to change. Just in all honesty, I feel so confident about the weekly and daily layout, and then with the hourlies, they haven't been the best sellers. Granted, I haven't talked about them a whole lot, so that could be my fault. I'm just trying to get it right. So I think we're getting closer here. So I'm so curious to hear your feedback on these planners. So we have our hourly planners. You could almost call them a weekly vertical, but I call them an hourly. We'll talk about all that. Here's our walkthrough of it. We're gonna start on the outside, and then we're gonna walk through the inside. We're not gonna go through all the prep pages and all the intentions of the planner too thoroughly. One, I've already kind of gone through them in the first two walkthrough videos, so you can catch those there. But second, that we'll do that more on like our setup series. So I just want this to be like a little more concise video of what you can expect cover to cover. Let's just get started on the exterior right away. So let's start with the covers here. Now, if you watched the reveal video, you will know that there is only 3 cover options for this one versus the 5, because I bought less quantity of these, again, because I just want to see how people like them. And because I bought less quantity of it, I didn't have as much flexibility of being able to change the cover art for production. I'll just lay out my cards. I bought 300 of these in total, and you can only change cover art with my manufacturer at the 100 pieces mark. So I could only pick 3 cover art, and this is what I chose. So you got your Daisy Blue. You got your Sea Glass, which is the fabric option. And then you have Moody Blooms here. Okay, so let's talk about size of this. This is 7.4 inches by 10.4 inches. This is just too bright. This is the best contrasting I have. Otherwise, I have white, or I have the same exact color green in this. But so you're going to be able to see. So this is your standard US letter size paper, standard printer paper. So we're going to put that down so you can see it. And then this planner is going to be right here. So we're not too far off from this size. I made it so much bigger because y'all want your columns to be a certain size, and I still was not able to achieve that with the layout that was voted most popular, but this was the biggest size that I could get with that kind of layout. And then you have depth-wise, it is like 0.93 inches. Here's a weekly planner, just for comparison. It's a little thinner than that. Weight-wise, so this is 1 pound, 14 ounces. It's just 1 ounce heavier than that weekly planner. And then binding, it is kind of that book bound. There's also a name to this. I learned it. Gosh darn it, what is the name to that? But you have the year on here and gold foil sprouted planner on here. So when you put it on your shelf, that can look very nicely. It is Smith sewn, so it does lay completely flat when you are working in it. And this one does not have any tabs. In the previous planners, they had stair-step tabs. This one, 2 reasons I did not do stair-step tabs. One, it is a royal pain in the butt to design with stair-step tabs. 2, it is a lot more expensive to design stair-step tabs. So we did not do tabs, but you can purchase, if tabs are something that's important to you, you can purchase these tabs. They're laminated tabs, and you can add it right in here. Let me grab. This is a sample. These are also sample tabs. Now, these are not laminated at all. They were just paper when I got sent to them, so they are beat up because of that. So that's why we have them laminated here. But you can do, this is how it would look if you add these tabs. Otherwise, you could do it all the way. If you didn't want to just do a little bit in, you could do it all the way in. So that is completely flush. You just see a little line there, but differentiate enough that you could grab your spot. Okay, let's look on the inside. Here is the inside. The pockets for these are an accordion style pocket. It is in the back. It comes with one ribbon. It does come all the way to the edge here. The reason I didn't pick 2 ribbons is because, well, I don't know. You know, as we're reviewing this and as I'm looking through it, I'm going, why didn't I just pick 2 ribbons? With 2 ribbons, you could mark your month and then what week you're on. But since it's only 4 weeks in between the months, I figure you can just flip it back a couple pages anyway. So maybe 2 ribbons would be excess. I don't know. I wish, in all honesty, I wish I added a second ribbon on here, but we do have great accessories that you can mark your page in here that will work just as well. So we do have the 1 ribbon, and then we have you have your title page, who this belongs to. Everything in here is just bigger because it is bigger. So I'm going to walk through this kind of fast, but you have your welcome letter, how we can connect to Sprout a Planner and to me. We got your start here, your layouts. You got your start here, kind of talking about the Sprouted system, how I designed it, your layouts, walking through all the features on there. You have a checklist for setup steps. So if you want a checklist of how to set up your planner, this is for you. But you got your core values. Again, I'm going to go through this a little faster. I did a little more detail in the daily walkthrough. So if you want to see that, you can look through there. It's the same exact pages. This one, I'll just go a little faster through here. So you identify your core values, and then you put them here and write your intentions of how you are going to live those out. You have your people, your most important people, and you write them down here and write your intentions of how you want to connect with your people. Your journaling prompt of what's your hopes for the year. You have your year at a glance, 2026 year at a glance. You have lines down here. You can write projects in, you can write goals, you can do whatever you want with this or nothing at all. You got your 2026 holidays and observations. Back here, we had flipped over to kind of the big picture planning. So reflecting forward, after you reflect on your previous year, you can put down what you want less of, what you want more of. Then you have your year list, so your bucket list for the year, your previews. So this is kind of before you commit anything to those monthly spreads, your week. You can big picture plan here. So you have every month for the year, or it's broken down into quadrants. So you can do quarters, you can do seasons, you can do life areas, whatever it is. You can just plan ahead here, and then before you have to actually commit to the rest. You have your tracker. This is something you want to utilize. Your dot grid pages. These are 5 millimeters. Your 2 notes pages. And then you have your monthly dashboard. Head of every month is going to be this layout, a dot grid page, and then your monthly dashboard. Then you move into your monthly spread. So here's what it looks like. It is very, very similar to any of the other planners. I'll just choose one of the weekly planners. As you can see here, it's kept it very, very similar. You have your intentional checklist here. You have your lined boxes that include holidays. And then I think the biggest change here is that you have your dot grid down here. You have just more space, right? You have a bigger list down here. You have more dot grid down here. But these box sizes are going to be the same as these box sizes. That where their stickers and everything are gonna stay true to that size and fit nicely in here. And then what is nice on here is you do have extra margin. You can add, if you want to decorate your month, you have extra area for that versus these planners, which, you know, is intentional when I designed it, but every single space is taken up here. Your intentional checklist helps you stay intentional about your front page section here so that it's kind of a big flow. You plan your year, which plans into your month, which plans into your week. That is what the checklist helps you do, to remember that, to refer back to that and plan it into your month. Now, new, okay, you will see the monthly reflection here. The monthly reflections used to live inside Sprout planners after every single month. So those have been moved out this year, and they have been moved into their very own booklet. For hourly planner's sake, whatever cover you get, you will get that booklet. So if you choose Sea Glass, you're going to get Sea Glass reflection booklet. But that comes with your purchase. So that is what that's what your monthly reflection is referring to. Okay, moving along, we have 2 notes pages after every monthly spread, and then you get into this spread. For everyone who has bought an hourly planner in the past, they got a survey. They were able to choose. I had 5 different layouts that I designed, and they got to choose what their favorite was. This happened to be the favorite, which is the same layout as we had 2 years ago, but now in a bigger book. This is your layout. So you have in bold here what the week is, and you have Monday through Friday on one page and Saturday and Sunday on the next page. So you can have your full typical work week on one page here. You have a big box where you can put your priority for the day, your focus of the day. You could put, if it's someone's birthday, whatever it is that you want up here. So a nice big box up there for that space. And then you have your hours from 6 to 8 p.m. It is lined, and then it is broken out. So it's naturally broken out to 6, and this box is from 6:30 to 7. 7 to 7:30, 7:30 to 8. So we have, so it's naturally broken into those half hours there. Then you have 2 boxes down here, tasks down here if you want to do like a personal task and a business task. If you want to just do your top 3 of the day, and then meal plans, and then meals down here. It is unlabeled, so you can do whatever you want. So you have your weekend, your traditional weekend here. Saturday, Sunday, same layout. I know for those of you with kids and sports, this will come in clutch. And then you have your to-do list over here. 21 checkboxes here. And then there's a divider. I meant that so you could, for if you want a list, if you need to make a packing list, a grocery list, whatever kind of list, it's just a dedicated spot for a list. If you don't need a list, you can just write right on over it if you would like to write longer to-do items. Down here, you have your dot grid, just for notes, or you could make a tracker on here. You can write your weekly reflection on part of this, but this is the layout. Let me get a ruler here. So still with this big size, I was not able to achieve, because of the layout, 1.5 inches, which I know in a couple years ago, people were like, I want 1.5 inches, but I came pretty darn close. So we have, each box is 1.25 inches. Can't we autofocus anymore? What year is this? You're not auto-focusing phone. 1.25 inches. So they're still pretty big. I think you can absolutely work with this. These to-do lines are just shy of 3 3/4. So that is your every week. And then it goes into the dot grid page, monthly dashboard, into your monthly spread. That just goes on throughout your year until you get to the end of December. Last week, part of your first week of the new year, and that moves into the 2027 calendar. So that you can bridge the gap between your planners. As plans come up, if you want to plan ahead, you have these 2 things here. And then you have a bunch of note pages. You have 40 notes pages here, which is about 20 sheets of paper. You got an ample amount of notes pages, and then on the back here, you have your sticker page. And this one, okay, was randomly put in between. Okay, I guess you have 42 notes pages with a sticker page randomly put in between. I guess they had to do that because of the way they have to glue the planner together. So anyways, you got your sticker page, and then you got your pocket back here, and that is the hourly planner. Who would this be good for? As you can see, this is almost like your Google Calendar layout here. So anybody who really likes seeing your whole week in advance, you can lay out all your appointments, you can lay out everything. I think that is so helpful to be able to see, okay, during this time and this time, you can block schedule, you can see your open times, you can really track across the week if you go back and like to track what you've done during that time. So you can see at a very high level, big glance, what you're doing during the week, how much time you have, how much time things take. If you have those kids that are in sports, maybe just to see, you know, how much time, okay, I get out of work this time, and we got to get to their game this time. That gives me half an hour, whatever it is. That's so helpful to have that layout. I kind of always think of the hourly planner like if the weekly and the daily had a baby, it to be this. so that you still are able to track that time. You still are able to do that time. So it's kind of like the daily where you have the schedule laid out. It's more like the weekly. If all you're to do is set out for the week, they aren't assigned to any particular day, but you do have space down here that you can assign those priorities for the day. Or I know a lot of people just put their to-dos in the spot right there. So it's very versatile, but I want to hear from you. I've been yammering on enough. I want to hear from you what you think about this layout. My two biggest questions, like what do you think about the layout? What do you think about the size? And you will just keep going from here. All my hourly people, I so appreciate you staying with me through this time. We will just keep tweaking, or maybe this is it. Maybe this is like, don't change it at all. So let me know your thoughts. If you have any questions about any measurements or anything like that, let me know in the comments below, or you can email me hello@sproutedplanner.com. So that's your hourly planner. Thank you so much for spending your precious time watching this video, and I will catch you on the next one, which will be walking through the monthly planners.